Hi Hoda, how are
Good
you?
evening.
Welcome. Good evening. Nice
I'm
to see
fine.
you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for the extra classes.
Yes, yes, I think it's very useful. There's no really not something that bothers me to do this activity because I'm going to meditate. Okay, so I said, okay, it's better when we do it all together. Perhaps there are some extra people who want to do this on Sunday, so we can do it all together, which I consider it to be much better. So we can first of all share, let's say, because there are some people who have never done this experience, but we can learn. We always learn something new, and it's good that we are able to review if we already know, so we can learn or try to apply something different, because meditation is not something that intellectual. I mean that I learned by heart how to meditate. You know, it's like learning a language. Let's suppose it's not that I'm going to learn all the words of a dictionary and then I'm going to know how to talk or how to speak a language. Okay, so it's something. It's a process. It's a technique. It's something that we have to practice so we can know how to do it, and we are able to achieve the goal it has, because it's not just something that we do when we are I don't know, when we don't have nothing to do, just because it has like specific purposes for our life, which are very interesting. So the idea is that today we are able to discuss that a little bit, so we value what meditation is, because as it is free, we don't need to buy it in the supermarket. Then it looks like it's not worth, but in fact is something very valuable for our life. If you take up to start meditating every day, I consider it to be that you are a rich person, okay? Because most people, first of all, they don't value this, and on the second hand, also we have lots of things to do during the day. So if you are able to find 1 hour or at least half of an hour to start with meditation, then I think I consider you to be a rich person, you know, to be able to give you this let's say luxurious privilege to yourself okay, which is to take to this habit, which is very good, it has lots of benefits for our health, for our psychology, for our life, for our happiness, for our prosperity, for everything. Okay, so we are going to start. Okay, if somebody else, then well, there are still people getting in. Okay, well, so we're going to start meditation. This is a phrase by Samael Aumeor, which says meditation is the daily bread of the wise. Because perhaps we haven't discovered yet, as I told you, the importance of meditation. When we see the benefits in our health, in our life, we will be able to let's say value, and I hope you are able to take up to doing it, and not just something that we learned but then we forgot, as something that we enjoy and that is part of our routine, is part of the things that we do, as eating. For example, we eat every day. Okay, we don't say, okay, but I ate yesterday. Every day we do it. Well, we are going to need it, because as we need bread to eat, to have water, we also need harmony in our life, because harmony is what makes us happy, is what makes us healthy. It is what gives us the strength to do everything that we need to do in life to achieve our goals, So this is very important. There are lots of people asking how can we better use our energy, our time to do things in life, and I think this is one of the best techniques that there exists in the world. It is for free, so there is almost no excuse not to meditate, not to learn. And also it is important that we know how to do it, okay? Because there are lots of things there on the internet that says learn how to meditate, but it's not quite meditation, okay? They are like relaxations or certain guided practices, but not really meditation, okay? If it is or not meditation, then you are going to know because of the effects or the results you get, okay? So, first of all, what is meditation? The word meditation has this prefix medit, which means in the middle, to be in the middle of things, okay? To balance, it means that there is no one thing on the other hand, or more in one side than on the other one, okay? So the perfect balance is meditation, okay? You are in the middle. And the objective of meditation is to be able to silence the chatty mind, okay? Our mind, I think that you have been able to experiment for yourselves that there are some days that it seems that like we have lots of people there in our heads talking and saying things and giving opinions, and then for the mind to do that is such a great effort and such a great waste of energy that sometimes we don't know how to avoid. So that's why it's important that we learn how to meditate, so we are able to save this energy. And why do we need energy? Because this energy we need it to be healthy. We need it to study, to work, to care for our family, to do lots of useful things that are like wasted in unuseful things that we do perhaps during the day, and that moreover we aren't able to control at all. That's why meditation will give us let's say the power to do it. In general, we think that the mind is our superior faculty, okay? In general, we have that idea, that belief. But in fact, the mind is not our superior faculty, okay? We tend to think that if we think a lot, it's because we are very intelligent, and that if we are intelligent, it's because we are superior in some way. But no. Let me tell you that beyond the mind, we have the will, to do things, and also beyond will, we also have consciousness. What does it mean? That with consciousness and with our will, we can control not only the thoughts that we have, but we can control our minds, and so we can define or decide if we want to think or not, which is a really huge power, because in general most of us can't help it. I mean, we do it like automatically, unconsciously. But with our consciousness, we are able to observe our mind, our thoughts, and everything that is taking place there in our mind. So this is the ability that we need to start to develop. Why? Because when we are able to do that, then we are able to focus, okay? And when we are able to focus in things, then we are able to get anything that we want in life. In the meanwhile, we are like all the time trying to do at first one thing, then the other. We aren't able to focus all our energy, to concentrate our energy to achieve things, to achieve balance, to achieve health. So when we are able to do it, then it's like all our cells, all our body will be able to be in this state of balance. Okay, we are going to teach all our body how to be in balance, how to meditate. At the beginning it's hard, maybe if we don't have, let's say, the right guidelines, but in time, while we practice, there are some people who have like more results more easily or faster, so they don't have much delay to do it, but there are others who require more time of practice. But anyway, it's important that we know it, because in the practice we will be also gaining a lot of benefits. Okay, and of course, as we are able to advance in the practice, we will start achieving higher states of consciousness. What does it mean? That during the day we are going, let's say, to vibrate in a higher level. And what's that useful for is not just to say to myself, oh, I am superior, I am flying today, I'm very happy, and then in the night I'm sad, I have quarreled with my relatives. No, the idea is that we are little by little starting to focus all the energy that we receive or that we produce, so we can stay balanced, and all the accumulated, let's say, energy and these superior vibrations are going to manifest in our lives, let's say, better conditions in everything that we need, okay, in prosperity, health, the relationship that we are going to have with our relatives, with our friends, with our peers in general. Okay, so this is something that we need, and especially these days, because you know this phenomenon of the COVID, and this is something that has affected much, not only our psychology. We have also lost our relatives, our beloved let's say beings, our peers. We have been like locked up in our houses, so everything, all this has affected us much. And also, of course, vaccination also is something, let's say, artificial, that also has its consequences on our body. So all this, we need to struggle with all these vibrations, with all these events, with all the people that surround us, that sometimes they are sad, or they are unbalanced, or they are let's say, I don't know, not well. So all these vibrations, we need to learn how to not to be affected by this, and to keep calm and keep in balance, not just trying, but enjoying life in spite of everything that may be happening. Okay, we have to learn to do that. This will be the greatest benefit, okay, that we will have, to keep balance in the middle of chaos. Okay, so here we have it, the benefits of meditation. Health: it balances all our organic functions and helps us heal all organs. Emotional: it allows us to transcend traumas, inner conflicts, solve problems in general. Proficiency: it helps us organize better our daily routine, profit better from our energy and time. Inner research: also we can get all sort of information related to ourselves. That's why within the course of self-knowledge we offer this workshop on meditation, because it is very important to know how to meditate, so we are able to study ourselves from within. And of course, spiritual: we can explore our psychology. Sorry, there's someone. We can explore our psychology in order to develop our essence, our love, our potential as human beings. Okay? Great. Well, how do we achieve meditation? So we are going to go fast into the steps. They are not. This is not a tutorial. I mean, they are not like. It's not a recipe to cook. It's not that I'm going to. There are only these 5 steps, but it is not that we are going to achieve all the steps at once. But at least we need to know what's the way to achieve the results that we are going to follow. Okay, so there are 5 essential steps. The first one is related to the position. we call it asana. This name in Sanskrit has to do with the position. Okay, there are some names, maybe you have heard of them. It is not important, I mean, to know them, but just if you happen to read the names, then you know what that's referring to. Then comes pratyahara, which is related to relaxation. Okay, so sometimes you find that you have relaxed, and we call it a meditation, but it's not really complete meditation. Then we have concentration, which is dharana. And when we are able to concentrate, then we are able to enter in the fourth step, which is dhyana, which is what we really call meditation, okay, the authentic meditation. And after a time that we can, let's say, keep in that state of meditation, the idea is that we are able to achieve the last and most important step, that it's our aim, which is called the samadhi. The samadhi, maybe some of you have heard of this phenomena, is a completely spiritual experience, okay? Completely spiritual and at the same time intimate experience. So the things that a person is able to experiment in that state, it is difficult to describe to other person, okay? That's why we also said ineffable happiness. Ineffable means something that we aren't able to say, not because it is prohibited, but because it is sometimes impossible to define with human words, okay? We humans don't have words to say these things. So this is why we call it ineffable happiness. And this is, okay, the last step. Then we are going to just introduce some of these steps, because the idea is that we don't lose much time in theory, but that you know the basic technique, that then you can adapt it to the best way that you feel that you can do it, and then you can practice on your own. The idea is to try to do it every day, okay? So we are, like, let's say, achieving more experience, and each day we can advance. When we practice one day, then the second day is not that we are going to start from the beginning. We have certain experience, so in the second day we are going to advance a little bit more. So asana, which I told you, it has to do with the position. When we are going to meditate, we can, let's say, choose between among different positions. It is not that it is compulsory to be in the loto and the loto flower position, but there are other positions, like, for example, sitting on a chair, or you can also be lying on the bed or on the floor. And you can, there are some special positions. There is one which is called the dead man, in which you are, like, all of you straight, okay, just with your arms next to the body, and the feet together. And then there is the star position, which is let's say, in the pictures I'm showing, is like the one which is doing the woman in the bed, which is with her arms and feet open and the legs open, so like in the shaping a star. It is also a possible comfortable position to meditate, but it is important that you choose the one that is better for you, because sometimes there are some positions that are very, very comfortable, and then we get asleep very easily, so we cannot meditate if we get asleep before we are able to focus and enter in meditation. Okay, so this is about the position. All these people have in common is that the spine is stretched, Okay, so it's not like we are like this or in any position like this. No, we have to have our spine stretched and be comfortable, and of course find a position that we don't have to move at all. Okay, that we can spend time in that position. Okay, and that there is no pain. That's why we don't recommend for people that are not used to practice the Lotto position, because because of the pain in the body, we are not going to be able to meditate really. Okay, so after this then we have the following step, pratyahara, and here while we are trying to focus, we need the relaxation. While we're trying to relax ourselves, we will need some help, because sometimes the time that we are trying to meditate, we are stressed, we are just coming from job, we are sad or something. Okay, so we are going to help our body to find comfortable state, biological, organic state. We're going to do it with mantras. I don't know, some of you perhaps have not heard about these words, also from Sanskrit, mantras or pranayama. So we are going to help our body to enter this state of relaxation with the pronunciation of mantras. In Sanskrit, the word mantra means word of power. So there are sounds, sometimes vowels, or there are some combination of sounds that we are going to produce, so our body is able to be relaxed. Also pranayamas, because the pranayama is a technique related to breathing, how to control our breathing, and it will also help us. In the end, we are going to teach you some of these exercises. We are going to do them together. And also prayers. Okay, you can do some prayer that you have that helps you be relaxed, or to help you feel your heart. So you can use also a prayer. Okay. The following one, which is called dharana. Here we are going to start to focus. Okay, once we have reached this relaxed state, we will notice that the energy of the body is very different than the state that we had when we started the practice, because that's the idea of the previous step. And now we are able to pay attention to what's happening to our mind, because the idea is that we are able to, let's say, empty our mind from all thoughts. Okay, sometimes this is the first main difficult part of meditation, that we have trouble in achieving this step of because we are not going to repress the thoughts. Okay, it's not that we are going to struggle with each thought. The idea is that when any thought appears in our mind, we don't get identified with the thought. What does it mean? That I'm not going to take up to start thinking about what the thought is telling to me. I just will know that there is something there, but I will not think about it. Okay, I will just know that there is something, but just that. Then another one will appear, a different one, but I will not think about them. Just let them pass. Okay, pass away. So as they didn't exist. So once, let's say they stop. Once they don't appear anymore, it's like they leave us at peace. So then we will be like focused, because there will be nothing there trying to bother us. Okay, so this is the step when we are focusing, which is the step of dharana. And then the next step, there are some elements, that may help us in this step, which are like external. They are not compulsory, but if you are able to get some of these things, maybe you can help yourself, because there is perhaps some perfume, some oil essence that you like. You know, these perfumes help us, not anyone, but the ones who are natural, especially these pure oil essences. There are some of them which help us, which help our limbic system. So what does it mean? It helps us be prepared. It let's say makes the body react in a positive way, so that the body is associates some smells, some special smell with certain activities. So perhaps if we like some of them that we that makes us feel at peace or quiet, then we can use it. Then I can also recommend you some of them, but if you like one, or if you have some of them, you can use it. Also, classical music is very recommendable to help yourself. It doesn't mind if you are using headphones or not, or if you don't use classical music at all. But if you are going to use music, try that it is classical music and no other types of music. Why? Because, you know, classical music, the important thing about classical music is that it has been like designed with the same vibrations of nature, with the, let's say, the superior vibrations of nature. So as it resembles nature, it will help our body, that our, let's say, physical part, which is part of nature, find balance. That's why it is important that we take up to listening to classical music. Also, there are some koans, that this is not let's say a physical element, but it's a practice. Maybe you know the word is from Chinese, which are some kind of phrases that sometimes we don't know the answer, and when we repeat them much, it like confuses our mind, so we don't think anymore and we are able to focus. Okay, these koans, I will try to translate one of them. It says, "Where was I before I was born? Where will I be after I die?" For example. So as the mind perhaps doesn't have an answer, then I will just like shock the mind, and maybe it doesn't. It is free not to think, and we can focus. Okay. And of course, try to use comfortable clothes. Okay. If you want to use incense, some of you maybe you do it. Try that they are not the ones who have metals. They are heavy metals. Yes, there are like particles of metal in the incense sticks. Try to buy the ones that don't have them, because they are negative, let's say, and also it's like they harm our body. So this related to the elements we can use in case that you have the possibility of having a special place to do it. If not, you can do it at home in your bed. Try that you are not too tired to do it, so then you don't get sleep easily. Or before you do it, better said, you are able to focus and to meditate really. Okay, you can do it in your room. And then we are like getting to this step, almost the last one, which is called dhyana, which is the real state of meditation. So when we are able to focus, I mean we are unable to think at this point because we are focused just perhaps in the smell or in the music or our heart, or something that we feel but not thinking, okay? It doesn't mean that we are going to become like a vegetable if we don't think, okay? It's not that. It is not that we are going to be unconscious like when we sleep. Our body will be relaxed, our mind will be passive, but our consciousness will be very active. Okay, what does it mean? I will not be thinking of my heart. I will not be thinking of the smell. I will be not thinking about my thoughts. I will be feeling. Okay, what am I going to do? Is to feel my heart. Maybe it's easier for you, instead of feeling your heart, is to feel your breathing, the air that comes through your body. So the energy of your body is going to change, because now you are like focusing all the attention, all your consciousness in your body, in your breathing, in the music, in this feeling, the feeling that music arises in us, or this smell. Okay, we are going to create an environment, a physical environment, if we can, to help ourselves, or at least try to do it with music. So we are really are going to enjoy this practice. Okay, it's not just that we are going to do it mechanically, or something like I have to be quiet here, still, don't move, don't think, don't do nothing, close your eyes. No, it's not something to stress ourselves, it's something to enjoy, okay? It will be a time for ourselves that we are going to devote, to give to ourselves as a present, so we can rest from all the pressures that we have during the day, all the things that are, all the problems that our mind has, okay? We tend to think, or to believe, or perhaps we do it mechanically, that thinking about problems and thinking all day long about these problems, that in that way we are going to solve them. But that's not true. Sometimes the opposite is true. When we stay quiet and we erase all the problems and all the things that the mind brings to us, and we are resting from that, then we find a solution to lots of things. Okay, so I hope you are able to experiment this, that when you have a problem, then instead of trying to think and to solve it with the mind, then you can go to a quiet place, close your eyes, try to meditate, and then you will find the solution instead of quarreling or something else. Okay. And when we are able to focus, then we will be able to enter in the profound state of meditation. Okay, so being able to focus, it is one step, but the idea is that after that we are able to jump onto the following step, which is the authentic step of meditation, which is almost the last one. Okay, why? At that point we are not struggling with our mind anymore. We have already been able to focus. So at that point in meditation we are going to start perhaps at first having like very beautiful and nice feelings, very different from the ones that we have during the day. This will start healing ourselves, because our body will start like being resting from lots of things, harmful habits, psychological or physical habits that we do unconsciously, unconsciously during the day. And of course, then little by little we will also start seeing things. Also, if we have achieved a very good, let's say, level of meditation, it will not be something difficult to happen, that we can start like receiving images as if we were dreaming, but we are conscious. Okay? And finally, the idea is that after some practice, we are able to experiment what we call the samadhi, which is the last step. And if we are able to do it once, maybe, then the samadhi is not just something that we feel and then disappears. It's something that transforms us radically. A person who experiments the samadhi is never the same anymore, because this is the real experience of something beyond, or something completely supernatural. Okay, maybe physically we will see everything, it's okay, but we will be different after the experience of samadhi. Okay, because spiritually we will have experimented something that isn't. It is almost impossible to experiment the same with three-dimensional activities or the habits and the routines that we have. Okay, so if we want to experiment something different, something really special, we have to create the environment, which is this meditation. Okay, meditation is the environment for us to have our, let's say, our connection with superior experiences. Okay. And that, so that we are not just going to talk about what other people say. Sometimes we even repeat things from people that have never experimented anything from these, let's say, superior planes of existences. For example, the nirvana. There are lots of people talking about the nirvana, but if the person has never been able to experiment that, then he's also repeating what others say, but it's not like really talking about something that he knows or that he has been able to live. Okay, so the idea is that we don't need to do that we can experiment that for ourselves, so we can have our own experience and we can tell others. Perhaps it's not that we are going to convince them, but perhaps teach other people that there is something else. This is not just something, this three-dimensional world, and this is the only aim of our life. Okay, and that we can be happy, that we can enjoy our life, that there are superior objectives for human beings rather than just being working and suffering and being locked up at home. Let's say lots of new things that this civilization, let's say, we have perhaps forgot. Okay, so now, sorry. Okay, this is the end of the presentation. I don't know if you have any question or something that you want to say, or something you want to ask before we do the practice. We still have like 20 minutes of practice.
Yes, I have two questions.
Okay, please.
First question, that as far as you talked about the music, I've heard that you can, if you use the binaural beats like delta gamma frequency or alpha frequency, and wear the headphone while doing the meditation, then it's much easier and quicker to reach this samadhi, or what the last part of the meditation. Is that true?
Well, I have not really tried. I couldn't say that it doesn't work because I haven't tried. But what I can tell you is that if you don't use it, you can do it. You can do it anyway. Okay, it's not a requirement. But maybe then I can tell you. Maybe I will try, and then I tell you if it's easier. But in fact, I think that it depends more in our ability of being able to focus. Okay, sometimes we tend to think that there are the things that surround us, but we don't have to lose the focus that we are the ones, that we are using elements, okay, to help ourselves. But the ability, people who are really able to meditate, they don't need even music. They are able to meditate anywhere, in the middle of the crowd, in the middle of much noise. So I hope once we are able to do that in the middle of problems, people, noise, everything, and we have, let's say, this huge concentration, huge ability of of focusing, so we can do it everywhere. But yes, I don't know if it works, but if you don't use it, you can do it the same.
And the second question.
Okay.
Okay. And the second question, how long per day do we have to meditate in order to reach samadhi?
Okay, yes.
Quickly. I mean, I don't know what the time duration you have to meditate for years, because normally they say you have to meditate for years and years to reach this level.
Well, as I told you at the beginning, there is no one answer, because each of us, are different. And it was not my case. For example, I discovered some things even before I started to practice. So there are some people who somehow have sometimes it's easier, but there are other things that maybe for are difficult. So each one of us is different. The important thing is that to achieve this, we have to practice. Even the ones who maybe are able to reach certain levels, if you don't practice, then you can even lose what you get if you are not like practicing. It is not like it is compulsory, to practice 1 hour per day. Sometimes we need to wait for a while so that our routine can, let's say, fix our purposes, because sometimes we have lots of things to do. But if that's not your case, if you are really able to have like 1 hour per day, I recommend you 1 or 2 hours per day. If you have the time, instead of watching TV, I recommend you to do this very much. If you have the time, as much as possible, it will be good.
Good evening, Serena. Good evening, everyone. I want to ask about the samadhi state. Is the samadhi mean enlightenment in another language?
Yes.
Or it's different? This is the first question. The second question I sent you on WhatsApp, and I got no answer. I hope you can answer me now. Regarding the fifth dimension, if you have any mantra or special meditation that we can reach the fifth dimension like we did with the fourth. Thank you.
Well, yes, this is the last question, and then we are going to get on with the practices. Yes, because some of you, I understand that then you have to leave. Okay, so in relation to illumination, yes, it's connected to this state of samadhi. In the rest of the course, we have talked about other techniques. It's not just to try to achieve samadhi, which meditation is the only way, in some way, to get there, but we need to combine it with another ancient practice that we call the psychological death, and that we used to teach in the first lessons of the self-knowledge course. And they're related to the other question. Yes, we are going to do some mantras. Today we are going to use only one, but I think that of the dimensions is something very relative. It's not something theoretical. I'm not going just to imagine fifth dimension and then I will say that I was in fifth dimension because I imagined that and I went there. It's something that we will achieve while we are practicing. Okay, it will be done naturally. If we do the practice as we are going to do now, it will be natural for you. First of all, you will start to remember your dreams. Then hopefully you are also able to astral unfold. Sometimes it happens naturally while you are learning and trying to meditate. And then you will be able, of course, to be able to unfold in other dimensions consciously. Just because you are like focusing all your energy in your inner world. but I can grant that if you do that mantra or the other, you are going to get it, because it doesn't depend upon the mantra. It depends on your ability of focusing, and of course let's say the practice you have, and the period that you have practiced. There are, as I told you, some people who can do it easily, and some others who require more time, but the important thing is that we do it as much as we can. Okay, so we're going to start with the practice now, please.
Using the mantra was way easier and faster.
We are going to use a mantra, yes, as I told you,
Using
because
the mantra was easier and faster to get there.
Of course it is. That's why we are going to use it, you know, and we are going to use the mantra Om today. Most of you, maybe you know it. Yes, of course it is useful, and there are other series. The thing is, there are lots of series of mantras. You may know some of them. Today we are going to use just the Om. Maybe next time we can practice other series. But yes, the idea is that because the mantra will help us a lot to find the relaxation that we need, that our body needs, to do this that you are referring to, that we are able to start focusing and to be able to stand in other dimensions. Okay, so let me know if it's clear, or at least more or less clear. Then we can continue maybe at the end if there are more questions. So
Yes, thank you very much. It was very clear.
okay, thank you for the questions. Now we are going to take a comfortable position there where you are. I will ask you please to turn all the microphones off, just in case, because we are going to pronounce the mantras so that we don't bother the rest of the students. So we're going to find a comfortable position with, as I told you, with our spine stretched, that in a position that we don't need to move, and we are going to close our eyes. Yeah, so all the things from outside don't distract our minds. And so sorry that I'm not able to share any music, but in case you have it or something, you can use it, as long as you can hear the steps that we are going to follow. Okay, the idea is that we take this position and we are able to relax. First of all, we are going to practice what we call the pranayama. Okay, so before you close your eyes, I will explain you the technique of the pranayama. We are going to work with our breathing. This exercise is very useful for you to do it early in the morning, or also before meditation. We are going to do it like this. We are going to use our fingers, okay, and we are going to block or close our nostrils, the nostrils of our nose, okay, so that we are going to direct the air from different nostrils, from one to the other. We're going to close the right nostril. Maybe you look it the other way around in the screen, but I'm closing the right one. So I'm going to breathe with the left nostril. I'm going to inhale. Then I'm going to hold the air. I will going to close both nostrils, and then I'm going to open the right one, okay, the other one, okay, and I'm going to like throw the air through the right nostril, sorry, and then I'm going to breathe through the right. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to open again the left one and expel all the air. Okay, So this is only one pranayama, okay? The air enters through the left one, then I hold it some seconds, and then I open it, the air comes out, and then again I take another deep breath, I hold it, and then everything comes out from the left nostril. Okay, I hope it is clear. We are going to practice this for 7 times, and then after this we are going to pronounce the mantra Om other 7 times, okay? After this we are going to jump to the next step, so we can focus, start the following step, which is trying to focus, okay? So we're going to start. The first, we need to inhale as much air as it is possible. Then we close some 3 seconds, and then again we expel all the air, and then we take the breath again. Okay, you can start doing this. Okay, we're going to start all together. We close the right nostril and we start. The second one. Now the third one, we're going to start. The fourth one. The fifth one. The sixth one. And now the last one. Okay, now we have finished. We are ready to start with the mantra. We are going to pronounce out loud mantra Om in the same way I will do it. I will take a deep breath. I will pronounce mantra Om until all the air is expelled from the lungs, and at the same time I will be pushing with my coccyx, okay, the energy upwards, okay, so it's like we're going to do kind of force there, okay, to push the energy upwards, sorry, okay, so Two more times. Okay, now if you have been following, you will notice that the energy of the body is very different, that the state your body is in is very different. You will find yourself very relaxed if you have been following the steps, and your mind is cleaner now, is more lucid. So the next step, if you want, without thinking, just feeling, if you need, you can do some prayer within yourself, focusing in your heart. And if not, you can just focus in your heart. First of all, in the organ, we are not going to think about the heart. We are going to feel our heart. We're going to feel the beatings of the heart. We're going to feel the life within ourselves, that spiritual phenomenon called life within this three-dimensional body. We're going to take deep breaths if we need. If we feel that there is some part of the body which is not relaxed, then we will make our effort to relax all the organs or the parts of the body. And now we are going to focus in your heart, in our hearts, or in our breathing, with the aim of just feeling. We will spend some minutes like this in silence. So each of us on our own will be doing this exercise, not thinking. There is nothing else happening at this moment. We just need to focus in our heart, in our life. little by little, without opening the eyes yet, we will start to come back. Maybe you are sleeping, very relaxed. So we're going to tell the body that we are coming back. We're going to start moving our feet, our hands, our fingers, a little bit, our head. So when you are ready, you can open your eyes. And we are back. Okay? So, well, it was a short practice. You can do some longer one if you want. And I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have liked it. I hope that soon we can meet offline so we can do some other practices. And
Yeah.
yes.
So
How are you, Hoda? Did you like it? Okay, if there is someone who wants to share something or ask something.
Yes, of course, of course. I'm born to make meditation. Of course, I do.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. So, good presentation. The sound was clear, great, because I was afraid of the noise, but hopefully it was good. Okay, so you had a nice experience. Great, great. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And up to the next one, to the next meeting. I hope you are able to practice on your own. So in next meeting we can do something different, and we already have some experience, and we can let's say achieve a new higher level. Okay. Thank you. I'm very glad that you liked it.
Selina,
Yes. Yes. Hi, Eliane.
I have a question. What happened that every time we do this, hi, we do the same practice but we fall asleep?
Well, sometimes it happens at first because it's necessary. Sometimes if we have, especially if we have some illness or if our liver is not too well, sometimes it's easy for us, or sometimes we are tired. Well, if it's only some days, you always keep on trying, okay? But if you notice that it is always the same, then try to look for another position. Try not to be in the bed. Try to be on a chair, perhaps with the light on. Sometimes we turn the light off, but sometimes it's easy to get asleep, so you can do it with the lights on. That works for me, because if not, I get asleep very easily too. But sometimes it happens because the body is healing itself. So sometimes it happens that we require, but we have to try to be conscious. That's the effort that we should be doing. All the body should be quiet still, but our consciousness should be active. In the same way, when we go to sleep, and what happens in general, our body goes to sleep and our consciousness also, so we get unconscious. You know, that's why when we cannot astral unfold, because when we go sleeping, our consciousness is also sleep. But if you are able to do this, then the physical body can be sleeping, but not your consciousness. So you are aware of everything that is happening in other dimensions, even though your physical body is completely asleep. Okay, that is something possible, and we need to learn how to do that. But at first, maybe it happens because, you know, a different energy. And the verse composed.
Yeah, maybe. I have one more question. There is.
Yes, you can tell me, Eliane.
Hello? Yeah. Sorry, it's cutting. Something happened with me the first time I did meditation a few years back, and I stopped doing meditation since that time. I did it a few times. There is one lady was asking about the samadhi, when she will reach the samadhi. So it was my second or third time, I remember, and I was doing it eyes open, focusing in one spot, and suddenly after that I closed my eyes alone, and I really went somewhere. I couldn't describe it. It was really fantastic. I was flying in the sky. It was all black, and I was seeing the stars that were shining. I was touching the sky, the stars, and I was laughing. I was so joyful that I didn't want to go to come back. And just it took me like 1 second maybe, but it appears like it's a big time. But when I came back, I was really disappointed that I didn't want to come back. And since that time, I tried. It never happened to me again. So what do you call this?
It looks like a small episode of astral unfolding, okay? That you are conscious, you are not flying with your physical body, because at least as far as I know that's impossible, but not in the astral world. In the astral world, which is, we have an astral body, which is not made of this third dimensional matter, but it is called a protoplasmatic body, which is the one when we have a dream and we dream that we drive a car, or we run, or we jump, or we fly, then that body is energetic, and this is the body that we use in that dimension, let's say. So this is like a really great experience if at least once you are able to experiment that. So it's not just that Gnostic instructors are crazy, they are saying crazy things. This is possible. There are some of you that you have told me that have had these experiences, and the idea is that we are able to do it. Okay, in the course, I don't know if Eliane, if you have been able to participate in the lessons we have been sharing. If not, you can talk to me. We have been sharing some practices to astral unfold, let's say voluntarily. So you can learn how to do it, okay, that practice, so you can get back to that nice place where we feel very happy, and that we can do lots of incredible things.
I've heard little.
Yes, okay. If some of you don't have my number, I will write it right now. So you can, because you are from different groups, and maybe.
So why we cannot do it number?
Sorry, Eliane? Just in case you want to ask me something related to that through WhatsApp.
Yeah, I have your number.
Okay.
I have your number. I was saying why it happened. Why?
Because this should be normal.
Yes.
This should be normal.
Why it only happens? You do another meditation, it won't happen again. So it was very frustrating, and I stopped meditating.
Well, because you need to continue, and even if at first they are like small, very very short glimpses of that experience, then we have to work so we can keep consciousness awaken in that, let's say, in that region, in that dimension for longer. Okay, this is a good sign. It's not something bad. It's a good sign. So you have to continue advancing.
So the samadhi, is it the samadhi?
Well, perhaps not exactly. It's not exactly, but it's.
Yeah. So the samadhi is the astral and function, or
no, they are not. They are not the same thing, but it's a very good sign. You know, when we dream or when we have an experience that we fly, it means that spiritually we are advancing. Okay, so if you dream that you, for example, if you dream that you are falling down on an abyss, that's something that represents something inferior, that you are descending. Okay, that's not good. But if you dream that you are flying in the sky, this is something very, very good, which means that spiritually we are like advancing in the conditions that we are achieving. So that's very, very interesting. And if we don't dream or if we don't remember, but we practice, of course we will be advancing also. Okay, until we see results, we will have to practice. So I invite you to continue with your practices and profit from that experience, which is very, very positive. So you can sometimes it's like we have these kinds of small experiences, because that's what I'm talking about. Experiences that no one else is just talking about. Things that we have been able to experiment. That's the idea, that we are able to do it for ourselves. So everything else that others, when somebody is talking about astral unfolding, about samadhi or any of these steps, we know exactly what is it. We are able to live, to experiment this by ourselves. Okay, and for some of you it's easier, and for some others it's not too easy, but if we practice, we will do it. Okay, because we are all of us, we are similar up to some point. Some of us require more time, but all of us, we have the possibility, the chance to do it. Okay, and there is one more question here. I can name some best composers of classical music, for example Vivaldi, Bach, Chopin, what else? I have a kind of a list here. So maybe I can share a folder for you. Sorry?
Rimsky Korsakoff, it's a very, very famous piece of him called Shahrazad.
You know, I don't know
it's
him.
Very nice, also on the classic.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, I have some beautiful music here. Schubert, Chopin, Bach, Vivaldi, Handel, Mozart, Schubert. Well, they are some of the most, let's say...
Celine, sometimes the classic music are very fast and have very heavy metal in it. Better we choose, like soft classic music.
Yes, yes, we have to select the ones that you consider that are better for you, because there are some classical music that also help us, but perhaps are not like more appropriate to meditate, but for other types of activities, perhaps for learning or doing some other activities during the day. So I can share a folder of music I have. I hope you like them, the one that I use. But there are others. Okay, you can choose the ones that you consider that vibrate more with you and that help you, that are more beautiful for you. Then we have another question here. While breathing from the heart, we can imagine our goals. This will make our dreams reflect at our reality very fast. Well, perhaps if we do that, it's not bad. But if we do that, we are not like. We will not be trying to empty empty our mind, which is the idea. We will be doing kind of different activity if we are like trying to imagine something. Maybe if it's not something too complex, maybe we can do it, but the point is that we don't have to get distracted from our objective, which is not thinking and not trying to force any thoughts, so that meditation doesn't become something mental, because the idea is that the mind becomes completely passive, okay, and that we are just going to focus on our heart, just to feel our heart, so we have something to focus, and then the mind isn't like wandering around, confusing our senses, just that. Okay, maybe what you are saying is different. Maybe there's another type of exercise, but I wouldn't, let's say, grant that you're going to achieve samadhi in that way. But I won't say that you are not going to do it either. But I have not done it. Yes, maybe it's more like a visualization. Maybe it helps you to do other things, perhaps to reflect, which is another very or maybe a different way to use meditation is to explore. Sometimes we need to reflect much about very deep things or experiences, and it is good for us to combine it with reflection, understanding of things, organizing our ideas, our feelings, sometimes like illuminating with consciousness the things, the experiences that we have. Because we think that having certain experiences is enough, but no, we have to, if we want, for example, not to commit the same mistakes or not to repeat bad experiences, then we have to learn from things. So we need to analyze them, reflect much, and see, okay, what was bad, what things I wouldn't do again, and try to, of course, to see it with the, let's say, with the glasses of love, because sometimes instead of learning good things from experiences, we get traumatized and become worse. So that's not the idea. The idea is to always have more love, so we can grow spiritually after some experiences. Then how about prana? Okay, Mario, I don't know if you were present. We shared an exercise called pranayama, where we taught how the exercise of the pranayama is done. So you can use it in this second step of meditation to learn to relax your body and to clean your mind from thoughts. Food, well, this is a very good point. We could deserve another whole class, or maybe more than one, to food, because it's a very, like, let's say, long topic, but it's important also. Sometimes we it's like we have a goal with meditation, but we aren't able to let's say, to eat the things that we need, maybe things more natural, not too heavy, take care with certain food, especially with pig. Maybe most of you don't eat pig, so that's good. But yes, and of course the liver, okay, our liver, which is something also interesting, because when our liver is ill, then maybe it makes a difference. If we are trying to astral unfold and our liver is ill, then, or sick, we are not going to, we will not be able to do it, okay? So that's why it's important to also have a very good physical body. We can talk about this in the next session, because it would be very long. Yes, you are wrong. You are talking about pork. That is not good to make after sex if you are legally married. Well, at some point, meditation is part of a culture. I mean, at some point, meditation is not an isolated practice. We can take up to this, but if we are searching for real results, as I told you, we have to combine with our other practices. As I told you, for example, the elimination of the ego, we call it Gnosis, but they have other names in ancient traditions, the same practice. And this includes, for example, learning how to profit from energy and how to control our instincts. So there are some other activities. Let's say, I will say it like this. I hope it's not like too, let's say, bad the way I'm saying it, and not too rude. But sometimes we do animal things. Okay, there are we do things like the animals do, and then we try to meditate. But our psychology is not of a human; it's of an animal, because sometimes we do lots of. It is not right if I'm just yelling at people and then at 5 minutes later I'm trying to meditate. For example, that's an example, okay? So there are different types of habits, for example, related to sexuality, related to eating, related to quarreling or dealing with other people, that we need to start to change, so we are able to find the conditions, the spiritual conditions. So this meditation is because this, if not, the purpose of meditation is lost. Okay, I mean, we need to really learn how the energy in the body is contaminated or is altered by different practices that perhaps we see them as normal, but then for the purpose of meditation they are not recommended, let's say. I'm addicted to smoking and alcohol. Is it good to meditate? Well, it wouldn't be a contradiction. I mean, in the, let's say, biologic term, because it will do you no harm if you if you meditate. But the idea is that this meditation helps you to give up, okay, smoking and alcohol, because if not, of course you're not going to achieve the aims that meditation brings. Let's suppose the idea of meditation, as we said at the beginning, is to bring harmony, is to bring health, is to bring balance. But then I'm trying on the one hand to meditate to have balance, but then on the other hand, and to have health, but on the other hand, smoking or drinking heavily, it will not bring health to my life. But sometimes I understand there are things that perhaps are difficult to quit, so perhaps meditation will help you much. Okay, so but the idea is that you give up. Okay, it's not that you do both things as if there was a combination. No, the idea is that you can start using meditation so you can relax, you can find other inner, let's say, motivations, and you can quit smoking and alcohol. It's not because something moral, it's because it's not something good for your health. Then the other question: when I finish the meditation, I feel pain in my right side of my body. Why? Well, it may be for different reasons, and there are some people that are experimenting that. I don't know if it's your case. Sometimes because of the vaccination, perhaps if you have taken it, sometimes the people feel that in some pains in the legs. I don't know if that's your case. And then the other question, what about mantra? Well, we share the mantra. I don't know, Mario, if you were able to get to the meditation at the beginning of the lecture of the class, but we talked about the mantra Om. that the idea was is to use it as well as pranayama to relax our body before we enter to the following step. Okay, so I think that's enough, and it's also a bit late already, so thank you very much. I hope it is clear. If there is some other doubt.
I have one last question.
Okay. Yes, please. Last question.
The day that I meditate, if I meditate for 2-3 days consecutive, or I meditate and then I go to sleep, I have noticed that that night the dreams I have, no matter how many times I go back to sleep, when I get up, I feel as if the dream was real.
Yes, it will start to happen. They are called lucid dreams.
So the feeling is that I was present in the dream, and it takes me few minutes to dream, not reality. So is that okay?
Yes, as long as they are not negative in the way they are not nightmares.
So it's normal.
If they are not nightmares, it's okay. If they are nightmares, then we have to try to find more harmony during the day, and to enhance sometimes the food or the activities or the things that we do, so we don't have nightmares. But if the experiences are positive, then it's a good sign. Also, it's not negative. That's good. We have the other question, if meditation can be bad. Thank you, Iram. If meditation can be bad? No, meditation is never, there is no contradiction for meditation. Meditation will always be something good for us. But what happens? Sometimes if we have another negative experience, it's not because of meditation, it's because sometimes the harmony, the disharmony, or because we are eating things that are not convenient for us, or because we are quarreling very much during the day, or because we are meeting people who are like not doing good things, and somehow we are like feeling this in our dreams, but or watching terror films. You know, if we are going to meditate, we don't have to be like watching those films, because they are like putting us in inferior regions of consciousness. We are feeding very low instincts and things. So for example, those things try to avoid, and of course be in places they are crowded where people do bad things. If we can avoid that, then try to avoid those places, and try to be in harmony as much as we can, so we can avoid this. Then I can recommend you also to make a visit to the countryside, to stay in nature, to swim, to breathe pure air, to be with plants, to garden. All these practices also will help you not to have nightmares, okay? To be related to natural things, and not sometimes too much with problems and negative things. But that's not because of meditation, okay? Sometimes meditation is like, as I told you, we can receive information through meditation, and there is something saying, okay, there is something calling my attention and saying, okay, you pay attention to this, because there's something happening. Sometimes an illness also. Sometimes there are illnesses where the liver is not okay, or some organ is not working well, and so we need to pay attention. And sometimes it happens that we may have like some dreams, but that's because there's something going on, and it's like a call of attention. Okay. Yes, and related to we have already talked about food. Yes, yes. In relation to food, we said that pork is not recommendable. Also, sodas, for example, all the type of people of food which are like too sweet or too salty or too spicy, very heavy food, which is like with lots of things and it's spicy or very or fried. Everything that is not like too natural also. Then Saina is asking me about if I visual. Well, Saina, the same answer. If we visualize ourselves, then maybe we are not like doing the steps of meditation. And I think we are going to finish here. Sorry that perhaps there are too many questions, but I invite you to do the rest of the questions. You can write to me personally or through WhatsApp or in the group, so I can answer all of you, and we don't we don't delay much because perhaps some of you aren't able to stay much, but we can continue there. And well, thank you very much for coming, and I hope I don't know if next Sunday perhaps we can meet again, so we can do another practice. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed this. See you on Monday, okay, tomorrow for lesson number 6 of the course. Bye bye.